Hey everybody, welcome back to Poke Primer. With the release of Shrouded Fable, we got some awesome new cards that we're going to be looking at today. It's one of my favorites that we got released was Okidogi EX, a huge attacker that deals 130 damage for 3 energy. And it says if this Pokemon's poisoned, it deals 130 more damage. Now, I know that sounds like a lot, but with Janine's secret art, you have the ability to choose up to 2 of your dark Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, you search your deck for a dark energy card and attach it to that Pokemon. Then you shuffle your deck, and if you attach energy to your active Pokemon this way, it's poisoned. Now, I know that sounds like it's a lot to have going on, but we have a bunch of other stuff too. We have the ability to poison through Pecharunt EX, which allows you to move something from your bench to the active as long as it's a dark Pokemon, and then have it be poisoned. In the list that I have personally made for this, I play Brute Bonnet as another way to guarantee the poison, right? So Brute Bonnet, when paired with Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, it will add special condition. It'll make the Pokemon it's attached to have no special conditions, can't be affected by special conditions, and give it 60 HP. But Brute Bonnet allows you to poison both the active, your active, and your opponent's active, just by having that Ancient Booster Energy Capsule attached. It'll never attack, but it's also a dark Pokemon, so just in case you want to move it into the active for whatever reason, you can do that as well. We're also pairing this up with Okidogi, the one that was printed in Twilight Masquerade. Because you're running all dark energy, you're allowed to attach a dark energy to it to move 3 of the damage counters from one of your Pokemon to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. We're going to be putting on a lot of damage counters through poisoned and being poisoned and getting hit. Okidogi allows us to hit those special numbers to do things like KO a Charizard. Right? Charizard gets hit for 300 damage using Okidogi's attack that deals 260, plus the ace in the hole, the best card in the deck, Binding Mochi, which adds an extra 40 damage if your Pokemon is poisoned. It just does so much, man. It does 330 when you move damage with the Okidogi. Overall, I think this deck has been one of my favorites to play. And honestly, I love it so much, I ordered it in real life at like a very high rarity. We play stuff like Arven that's going to allow us to get ourselves set up. We will also play stuff like Trekking Shoes. We want to get stuff into the discard, as well as stuff like Town Store, which allows us to search for a tool card to get our Ancient Energy Booster Capsules, as well as get those Binding Mochis to kind of allow ourselves to, kind of get into the game. We also play Dark Patch, which allows us to, recycle that dark energy onto one of our bench dark Pokemon, as well as playing Squawkabilly. We do play Ionos just in case we need to shuffle stuff back in, and we play Boss's Orders. Now we're going to get some games in, and let's see how it plays. And my opponent's chosen to go first, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with going first, especially if you have a lot of stuff going on here. But our hand is really good here. We're going to go Okidogi in the active, Okidogi on the bench. I'm not going to put down the Squawkabilly until I find out what we're kind of doing here. All right, my opponent grabs a Radiant Charizard. Starting with Mew, Squawkabilly, and Radiant Charizard. Oh, it looks like they are playing Regidrago V-Star. Looking at Regidrago V-Star, we don't actually need much to knock it out as is. So I'm kind of excited to see where we go with this. They do get a lot of ramp through Teal Ogerpon and other stuff as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can get a knockout turn 2 and how they choose to do it. We do want to set up a second Okidogi just in case. So what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to be switching through stuff and kind of getting ourselves set up ASAP. The thing that I'm kind of happy about, though, is they don't have 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons out. And by not having 2 Teal Mask Ogerpons out, they don't really get that ramp. Okay, let's see if we find a supporter. We find a Janine's Secret Art, which is pretty good for us here. We will find ourselves... Let's get ourselves that Okidogi. Right. We will also play the Squawkabilly. I'm going to attach the energy onto the Okidogi, because what I'm going to look to do here is I'm going to Janine's Secret Art this turn. and we're going to put 2 dark energy onto these Pokemon. Like ASAP, right? So the idea is, now that we have 3 out here, we can now proceed to Squawk and Squeeze to discard our hand, draw a bunch of cards. We do get the Binding Mochi, which is pretty good for us here. No cards in our prize cards that we care about. I will try to get the... I do want to kind of get Poison on here because it matters. But at the same time, I think we get the Pecharunt just in case. I'm not going to play the Binding Mochi or the Town Store yet because it is not required. We do have a Dark Patch in hand. So there's a world where we can... You know what? No, I'm not going to overthink it. We are just going to Poisonous Muscular. Attaching 2 energy here and just passing our turn. I do really like the Monkey Dory because the Monkey Dory allows us to move stuff over kind of ASAP and, you know, just be able to put stuff in here. Our goal is that we're going to try to move stuff up ASAP onto our opponent's cards. They do have the Regidrago. I am a little worried about them going this turn straight into the Rolling Iron. But it looks like they may have not gotten... Okay, so they did get Dragapult, which is okay. Dragapult's, like, not that bad for us to deal with. They have to get an Energy Switch, which they currently do not have. They put out Prime Catcher, and what was the other thing? They grabbed Prime Catcher as well as... Okay, a Grass Energy. So I see they're attaching early to see if they can find an Energy Switch. There's the Energy Switch. Let's hope that they don't have another Grass. They're not going to knock us out this turn, but it is going to be a little bit scary, right? So them being able to do 200 to my active, you know, kind of makes me a little bit worried. We do deal 260. So there is a world where we can decide that we... Oh, hold on. Crossing my fingers here that they're not paying it. Oh, they did get the energy. Let's see how the attack goes here. What we'll probably... We do have a backup attacker here with that Dark Patch. And we can always... So, like, we can always promote the Squawkabilly, right? If the damage counters get put there. And kind of go from there. So they ended up grabbing the Giratina with Star Requiem and the Lost Impact. So they can just go for the knockout. But I don't know if that's... I mean, I don't know if that's really needed here. They do get the restart to draw a couple cards. I'm not too worried here, right? Because if they go for Lost Impact, it is just a knockout, right? They do have to get rid of 2 energy. We do get the Revenge knockout, which is pretty good. We do have to set up another one, though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the Squawkabilly. I will attach an energy. Then I will Dark Patch. Straight onto the Okidogi. Then we are going to Subjugating Change to bring up the Okidogi. And we will play the Mochi. And I am going to just hit for 300, taking 2 prize cards there. Now, we are a little bit behind here, right? It is a little rough. But I am not too worried about it. Regidrago is kind of a weird matchup for us. Right? So my Pecharunt does, what, 60 per prize card taken? 2 prize cards have been taken so far. There was another list where there's another list that I play where I decide to, you know, play stuff like EXP share and whatnot and really lean into the town store. But I think we are probably going to fall a little bit behind here. I am interested to see what happens if they can get another setup. There's the Regidrago again. We do have a boss's orders for it. So I'm okay with kind of just attacking and making them have to really deal with what is going on here. How much does Radiant Charizard hit for? Hits for 250. Okay. Energy switch, energy switch. I wonder if they're going to just kind of prep this for an attack next turn. The problem is that if I do not get another setup... So, like, what I need to do is I need to be wary of the Radiant Charizard just getting a knockout next turn. But they also discarded another Regidrago, right? So, like, we have our path to victory with our Pecharunt plus our Okidogi. So we do have a boss's orders here, right? So we go, like... So I need to do, like, this here. I need to do... I can't do Arven. If I do Arven, then I lose. I do not want to put a Town Store into my hand because we already have a Town Store. Okay, there's another Dark Energy for next turn. We're going to boss his orders now, bringing up the Regidrago. Then I want to move stuff off. So we'll move 10 damage counters. We'll do this, right? So let's get the knockout with Chain Crazed. Man, this damage hits for so much. That's like 320 right there for free. Feels just really good to play. We do have a ton of energy plus the Arven ready for next turn. So what we can do is we can always... so we could probably, like, Prime Catcher to get another knockout, right? So that'll be... let's see. That's 6 times 4. That's 240. So we have game if they get the knockout here. They get 2 prizes off that. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is that Pecharunt is a pretty decent attacker, right? So we're gonna move the Squawkabilly up. And then we're gonna go Pecharunt here. And then I'm going to Arven, getting myself a Prime Catcher and then an Ancient Booster Energy Capsule. It really doesn't matter. We're going to bring up the Squawkabilly and bring up the Pecharunt. And with that, that should be game as we deal 240 to the Squawkabilly. I think this, dude, this deck always feels so fun when you really get the KOs going. And that's kind of the game plan, right? That was our first game of the night. Not too bad. I wasn't expecting to win that, especially against Regidrago. But with the Binding Mochis, we do get 1 hits. Okay, so it looks like we are going first, which, like, kind of sucks, kind of doesn't, right? So we're going to go Okidogi in the active. We'll go Squawkabilly on the bench. We don't really have an energy ready to go, nor do we have another Pokemon ready to go. So maybe there's a world where we cut the Brute Bonnets because we can poison ourselves easy enough. Okay, that's a Mimikyu. Interesting. That is not a Charizard. Nope. See, this is the one time, remember how I was like, I don't think I need X, Y, or Z thing, right? I don't think I need stuff like Brute Bonnet. I don't think I need stuff like Okidogi. Well, this is in like a big time where this stuff actually matters. Would I like to put this card in my hand? We'll say no, because I would like to Dark Patch first. So let's Dark Patch straight onto the Pecharunt, right? And then I'll attach the Okidogi, and then we're going to Squawkabilly and discard my hand and draw 7 cards. We have nothing in discard, so let's do this. We're going to bring up the Brute Bonnet. I'll play another Okidogi onto the bench. Let's discard this and this. And let's get a Monkey Dory. And now our hand's basically filled. And we don't really have to do much for a little bit. So we're going to sit back. We're going to end our turn. And we're going to hope that something goes a little bit better. Unlike what we normally do in these types of videos, I might restructure the deck mid-video. Heck yeah, Iona, when I only have 1 card in hand. Let's go. I really like where we're going with it. They're playing Mimikyu and Charizard. They are playing Dust Skull. That is something we have to be aware of, right? We do have to worry about the Duskull. We do have to worry about the Charizard. We have to kind of have to worry about the Rotom V, but not as much. Right? We will Janines. Right? So what's more important here? What's more important to me is probably taking a prize. So what we'll do is we'll put this here. I'm going to move 2 damage counters. Oh, shoot. Well, that's fine. I would like to Prime Catcher here. We're going to move the Charmander into the active. We're going to move my Okidogi into the active. Then let's Janines. I would like to add an energy here and an energy here. We do end up getting poisoned for it, but not a big deal. We have some other stuff to do as well, but I think we are good to just attack here for 300. We do have the switch if needed, but I don't think we need to go that far just yet. Energy booster capsule, pretty good for us here. We do get to be able to switch things around, get ourselves into a really good spot here where we're just dropping poison on everything else that's here, dropping 2 damage counters here or there on the Duskull, on the Dusclops, moving stuff around, forcing them to have to either have something. Okay, they're probably going to put Monkey Dory into the active. Okay, Brute Bonnet. But the problem is that if they don't knock out the Brute Bonnet, they're kind of in trouble, right? Luminous Energy onto the Mimikyu. Let's see, what can we do here? So I do have the town store if I really need to. But I don't think I need to. What we can do is we can see, I can try to get myself to attack here, but I don't think we really need to just yet. I'm going to make both Pokemon poisoned. And then I'm going to move 10 from my active onto the Mimikyu. And my turn. I mean, we can attack, right? But nothing happens, right? So we pass our turn here. We hope to God we hit a boss's orders while they stall with the Mimikyu. This is one of the reasons why the poisons package is pretty good. It's not terribly needed, but we're also in a position where we can't really do much besides sit and wait and hope that we get the knockout. But, this is another thing where Monkey Dory really comes into play, where, we're getting 2 damage counters a turn. Move stuff around, right? Get some stuff going. And, I really think that this is my favorite way to play this deck. Alrighty, let's see what they... Okay, grabbing Pheasantipity, which is pretty good here. They will drop 7 damage counters on my Pokemon. Oh, they're not even doing that. Okay. I see. Okay. What do we even do here? So the problem is that if I just simply, sit back and hope for the best, then I think we're not going to get anything out of this. So what can I do? I just kind of sit back and I hope that they do something with the Mimikyu and the Pheasantipity, right? If during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. Okay. So the cool thing is that they will not be knocked out. If their Mimikyu is knocked out, it is not knocked out due to me on my turn. Meaning, if they don't use it, right? Duskull will come down. It'll probably come down and... see, Dusclops puts 13, right? So they knock out my Mimikyu. The thing that we did really well here was that we knocked out Charizard right away. So I think we're cool with that. But putting 7 damage counters on my Pokemon's kind of lame, right? We would have to move it off ASAP. So they get to go 5, 13 damage counters technically between Mimikyu and Dusclops. We do get 2 prize count. Okay, they draw cards. I will get prizes off this. So I will take my prize card off here. I am looking for a boss's orders. Carmine might be good, right? Discarding our hand and drawing 5 cards. We really don't have much else to do here. We already used our prime catcher, so that's kind of like lame. But, you know, it is what it is. No matter what they put out here, it's like really bad for them. I think Carmine is pretty good here because being able to discard our hand and draw 5 cards with a bunch of dead cards in hand kind of like sets us a little bit farther ahead. I'm hoping that like here's the thing, right? They technically don't get a knockout here. We do get a knockout here. They'll draw 3 cards off this if we really want to go forward with that. I am going to put a damage counter on the Okidogi. And then let's discard my hand. Okay, let's try... I mean, I think we just take a knockout, right? There is a world where we have an energy switch to do some stuff. I am going to move the 20 damage counters off of here onto the Pheasantipity, just in case we need to do something there. But let's take the knockout with a fresh... healthy Okidogi. We also have Janines in case there's another Mimikyu that comes down. So if Mimikyu does come down, what we can do is we can kind of like move some stuff around, finagle a little bit, you know? Charmander's coming back out, and that's a Dusk Noir, but they're going to put me down to 1 prize, which is really bad for them. I don't think they're in a position where they can really stop me from winning, because even if they try to knock something else into the active, like, either they use the Dusk Noir or they don't. They flood their bench, right? They get their search. I think we have it one way or another. That's a Super Rod coming out to probably shuffle back in some energy. There's another Duskull coming down. I guess they put 13 damage on something. Like maybe my Monkey Dory knocking it out. But the problem is that I get to choose a prize card here. So it doesn't matter. Guys, I think I got banished to the Shadow Realm. No, we're good. We're good. We'll take our prize card, and now it just doesn't matter, right? So, like, that's one of the problems with, like, you know, the Dusclops, Duskull stuff, is that, you know, if you're behind, you can't really catch up because you give your opponent a prize card, right? You have to take out key pieces, and we were already set up, so. For this, I'm going to try to not go first and see what happens. I don't really want to go first if I can help it, but, you know, stuff like Carmine and Squawkabilly EX really kind of help us out to get ourselves out of that bad type of position. We will go Pecharunt onto here because we know that we can kind of get ourselves out of this position. But we do want to Squawk and Squeeze if we can. The only other problem that I have is that we do have an energy switch in hand where we want to do stuff like you can get like a really cool attack going. Oh, an Pheasantipity to start. Interesting. I wonder if they're playing the Okidogi like starter box that they give you. No, they are just playing Charizard. Got it. I've seen a lot of lists of the Charizard, like, Duskull variant type of stuff. Perfect. This is what we want to see. I want to go Brute Bonnet, attach, Town Store, do this here, get ourselves a Squawkabilly. And it stinks that we lose an energy switch, but that's okay. I'd like to Squawk and Squeeze my hand away. Now we're never punished because, you know, we're playing like a real good game here. So we're gonna go like this and then attach onto our Okidogi. And then I am going to use Subjugating Chains and bring out the Okidogi himself. And while we're at it too, let's use the town store, get a card out of our hand that our deck we don't want to draw. And I would like to Poisonous Musculate? Poisonous Musculate. I'm going to search for one energy and attach it to the active and pass our turn. Right, normally we would want Janines or something there. If we were playing a little bit more of an aggressive list, I could see ourselves using Janine a little bit more often. Like, you know, get ourselves into a position where, like, Janine's, like, lets us attack turn one there. We're very more aggressive. But our list isn't really built to be that aggressive. We're built to be a little bit more resilient and, you know, less punishing for certain things. So, like, right now, right, we do have the Monkey Dory coming up to allow us... So, like, because we attached the way we did last turn, we can go basic energy onto the Monkey Dory, move everything off of the Okidogi onto, you know, the Charmander or something of the sort. So, I think that's probably where we want to go. My opponent is probably going to Rotom V off the Nest Ball, then get a rare candy to do a setup of something, right? I'm kind of hoping that they decide that they're going to... By the way, my opponent didn't have to search for that. We do have a town store up. Oh, my opponent is using their V-Star to search for a card. It's probably going to be a way to evolve into the Charizard ASAP. But the cool thing about if they evolve into the Charizard ASAP, we do take the knockout on Charizard with Okidogi, as well as a poison and some other stuff too. Defiance Band. Okay, I gotta double check Defiance Band. Let me read Defiance Band. Oh, they do 30 more damage. That's fine. Okay, going straight into the Charizard. My friends, you're gonna find out why you don't want to go straight into the Charizard. Although my opponent might just be like, hey, yeah, if my opponent does have the boss's orders, my opponent just has the boss's orders. That's just how it is. We don't even need... Folks, we don't even need the boss's orders. My opponent is kind of just handing this to us as is. We don't even need to poison them next turn. We can just take the knockout. We do have to get a second Pokemon set up. If we do not, you know, we're going to probably have a little bit of a bad time. But I'm not too worried about it. Let us Monkey Dory move 3 damage counters onto the Charizard. And then just simply get the knockout for 300 damage. This feels really dirty to do, but at the same time, you know what? They had it coming. They have a ton of cards in hand, too. I don't even feel that bad. No, remember in the past, I was talking about us playing something along the lines of, you know, playing something along the lines of, like, EXP share. This is kind of where EXP share kind of comes in handy. Right? The only thing I'm worried about here is my opponent just simply going, evolve here, get the knockout, etc., do whatever. Unless my opponent does exactly what they're doing now, which is the Buddy Buddy Poffin. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get a setup by doing something along the lines of, you know, getting an Okidogi off the Nest Ball, putting an energy there, and then setting ourselves up for success. And then getting the knockout on something like the Pheasantipity. Right? Because out of everything we want to knock out, Pheasantipity is probably the thing we want to get. Because Pheasantipity stops their draw, their unconditional draw, also stops a knockout, things of the sort. Although they don't have an attacker, interesting. So if we go for the Charmander, they won't have an attacker, which is kind of cool. So we go knock out the Charmander. They have to take a turn off. Interesting. Okay, well, they're not playing the new variant. Yeah, that's fine. And then Collapse Stadium, they're knocking something off. That's one of the problems we do have, though. Is that if they find an attacker, which they probably won't if we do boss's orders again. So we'll put energy on the Pecharunt. we're going to move 3 damage counters onto... We have to force them to have the Pidgey. And then we'll boss's orders up the Charmander. And then we take the knockout with Chain Crazed. The problem is the Pecharunt doesn't really do much for us here. The problem is that Collapse Stadium is kind of bad for us. They are playing, my gosh, they are playing all this stuff, which is kind of insane, right? We do have the boss's orders next turn. So if they do not find the, if they don't find the, so like here's the thing, right? If they don't find the Pidgeot and the rare candy, we just get the knockout there. And we get 2 hits here. I mean, they weren't expecting me to have double boss's orders, right? But so this is something where, you know, you always tell people to play to their outs. And the outs here is just having it, right? So, you know, we're going to Town Store to knock that out, right? Oh, okay, cool. They already noticed. I like their Munchlax coin. I hope they're not on control, but I believe that they are. I mean, like, let's be honest. If you're playing Munchlax coin, I'm going to predict that you're going first. But that is, look at that. Nice. Nice. Like Venusaur, like Mega Venusaur, right? Mega Venusaur thing. The problem is so our hand is like not good. That's a Moripeko to start. Interesting. What are they playing? Are they playing like Dark Box? Not Dark Box, but are they playing like, man, I'm really interested to see what they're playing. So the cool thing is that we got a Carmine. I'd prefer that we didn't, but we got a Carmine, so we're going to discard our hand and draw 5. Okay. Hey, and we even got a Dark Patch, so that's pretty good. I don't want to lose the Dark Patch yet, so we're going to use the Dark Patch now. And then I'm going to discard these guys, and I'm going to try to find a Squawkabilly, which we do have one. So we got the famous Squawkabilly Carmine opener. Squawk and Squeeze right here. Get ourselves some more stuff going on. Get ourselves a Munkidori. I'm going to... So, I know this sounds really weird to say. I'm going to attach to the Munkidori right now. Activate the Subjugating Chains. Bring up this. Bring up our Perilous Jungle. And then just simply try to get some energy on here and get myself poisoned. Now... We dug a lot. We didn't really do much. We put energy on the Munkidori. We could have Janine'd earlier, but like I don't think Janine's is very, very good here overall. Buddy Buddy Poffin coming out. I'm curious what they're grabbing. Man, I really think Moripeko might be the play here for something. I'm just not sure what, because being able to Pecharunt up a Moripeko and then go from there. What the heck are they playing, my friends? Oh, wait. This evolves into a dark Pokemon that does like a chop or something, right? Okay. Boss's orders coming up, probably killing them. Does this kill it? 70? Am I weak to dark? I am weak to dark. Wow. With the Vengeful Punch too. Getting the knockout on my Munkidori. Was not expecting that. Not that many folks, get the quick knockout there. What does this say? Put 4 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon? Interesting. Okay. I would like to get a... I think we're going to play another Pecharunt, and then we're going to play a Janine's. I don't think I really need to be poisoned right now. I will just try to get the knockout here. Let's go for just the normal knockout. I know that's crazy to say. I'll take 1 prize card. Hopefully it's something that lets me draw cards. Ultra Ball's okay. Ultra Ball gets me another Okidogi. Or in like absolute worst case scenario, might be able to get me something else to get out of this situation. I am not even sure what I am playing into right now. Buddy Buddy Poffin probably gets them another Bidoof and another Nimble. Oh, just more Moripekos? Huh. What are they doing? Oh, wait, what the heck is Clavel? Search your deck for 3 Pokemon with 120 HP or less. Add them to your hand. Okay, what is this getting them? They are getting Manaphy, Nimble, and Moripeko. Mist Energy. Okay. Well, we got the Okidogi. What else am I searching for here? Probably a Monkey Dory. Brute Bonnet gets me poison on both. No, we want Monkey Dory. Especially because I don't know what my opponent's playing just yet. So let's get the knockout here. I'll take another prize card. Honestly, maybe it wasn't a Monkey Dory that I was supposed to grab. Maybe it was a... Well, we don't have Town Store. I'm very confused as to what my opponent's playing. We do have a trekking shoes to try to dig a little bit further. I would like to try to get some more energy. I'm like so confused as to what they're playing. You can tell that I'm like interested because I'm leaning in. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? Vengeful Punch again. Okay. I think Monkey Dory might be the correct play so that we can move these damage counters off. Right? And I move them on to something else. What the heck is Azuzu? What do you do? Search for 3 evolution that don't have a text box. Got it. Well, I got my basic dark energy, so that's pretty good. So let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do this. Yeah, I'll put the Pokegear 3.0 into my hand. Why not? Hopefully I can get like a Janine's. Boss's Orders is pretty good. I would like to probably remove their draw. So let's bring up the Bidoof. And then let's get the knockout with Chain Crazed. I'm not quite sure what my opponent's up to, but you know, we'll hang out and figure it out until we figure it out. Mist Energy going on to the Moripeko seems a little weird though, because it stops effects. They might have the evolution here. I don't know what their evolution does though. They do search for their evolution without text boxes, which seems to be this guy. I gotta read what the thing does. 40 more for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. That's kind of cool. I like that a lot. That's really cool. So it'll deal 80 here, and then it'll deal more and more and more as time goes on. Bounce to switch it. I see. Okay. Oh, I get it. Okay. Well, we're going to choose this and this. We'll put damage counters on. Right here and right here. And then I'll use trekking shoes to kind of like go down. Yeah, energy switch is fine. We'll put an energy switch into our hand. Then we're going to get a knockout here. And then what we'll do is we'll start like getting... See, like, this is, like, the weird case. I don't really like having 2 Pecharunts out. Because it kind of, like, sets us up for this weird situation. But, like, I like the low kicks, like, punishing kick, right? Deals 4 for every damage counter, so that's a lot of damage. So that's 370. So we'll bring up the Pecharunt. And then we'll go Dark Patch onto here. Dark Patch onto here. Energy Switch for this onto here. And then we'll use Subjugating Chains to get it out and get poisoned. Not like it matters, right? We're already doing the damage. The problem is that the more damage that we put on these guys, the more damage the low kicks does. I mean, it was kind of cool. Like, if we had more stuff, like, if we went with our normal damage route and we didn't do Monkey Dory, we probably would have had a big problem here. I didn't even know low kicks was a card. When did this card come out? Came out in G. Interesting. My opponent has probably decided that they no longer want to play the game, as I've gotten up and let my cat in during this time. Kind of stinks, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm sorry that you had a cool idea, but it just did not pay off. There we go. Like, I don't think they ever come out of this in a good spot, but that's okay. Especially because we could just bring up the other Pecharunt. I guess you just have to emote to get them to do things. Boop. Like, I'm sorry, your deck was cool. I liked your deck, but like if you're gonna sit here and, you know, not take your win gracefully, that's kind of rude. GG's to my opponent. Too bad they had to ruin it by being a little bit rude there at the end and just kind of sitting there. But, I mean, that is Okidogi in a nutshell. We played against 3 meta decks, did pretty well. Let's go over the list one last time for everybody. So our list plays 2 Monkey Dories. We play 2 Brute Bonnets. Actually, you know what? I might as well just export this and have Dom put it on the screen. So, Dom, put this on the screen while I'm reading this off. So our list has 2 Monkey Dory, 2 Brute Bonnet, 3 Okidogi EX, 2 Pecharunt EX, 2 Squawkabilly EX, 4 Dark Patch, 1 Energy Switch, 1 Heavy Ball, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Pokegear 3.0, 1 Prime Catcher, 1 Super Rod, 1 Switch, 4 Trekking Shoes, 3 Ultra Ball, 1 Perilous Jungle. I actually think that's fine, Stick, being a town store. So instead of the Perilous Jungle, let's cut that. Let's put the town store. So it'd be 3 town stores, 2 Arvin, 2 Boss's Orders, 2 Carmine. Sorry, 1 Carmine, 1 Iono, 3 Janine's Secret Art, 2 Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, 2 Binding Mochi, and 10 Dark Energy. Overall, I think this list is pretty solid. I think overall, I would say that this list is like definitely something that I would say that like we play overall and that, you know, is a very good attacker. You know, being able to synergize the toxic powder with the Monkey Dory, and also being able to ensure that your Okidogi is poisoned every single time gives this really cool, interesting mechanic. Guys, that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching a deck tech on something that hasn't really topped, but something that I've been playing and something that I've really enjoyed. If you guys enjoy content like this where I show you decks that I've made myself, feel free to leave a comment down below and I can tell you more about why I made this deck and how I made this deck. And then from there, you know, maybe drop a sub or a follow or something. And I'll see you guys next week with a new Poke Primer. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.